Hi, my name is Pastor Jerry Ingalls from First Baptist Church in Newcastle, Indiana, and we are on a journey together of studying the Bible, one chapter at a time. I'm running a short devotional thought on every chapter of the Bible, and then I'm sharing that with you. Today we're looking at Joshua chapter 5. The nation of Israel was now poised to take the promised land, but God had not yet revealed his battle plans to Joshua. Instead of revealing the plan, God ordered Joshua to circumcise the generation who had been born in the wilderness and to celebrate the Passover on the desert plains of Jericho. Afterwards, the manna that had fed God's people for 40 years unexpectedly stopped. And God's people were now dependent on God's provision of the promised land for their daily bread. Can you imagine the burden of responsibility Joshua was experiencing at that moment? Still with no battle plan, Joshua goes to look upon Jericho, which was a heavily fortified city prepared for a siege. And now, with his people in need of the food that the city's crops would provide, Joshua contemplates his next steps. And now real quick, let me just give you some commentary. As a former military officer, you need to realize as Joshua was looking out and this city was preparing for a siege, that means they had probably gone through and gleaned and gathered every food particle they could find from their crops. So here we have Joshua, a military commander, looking out at Jericho that is ready for a siege with high fortified walls, and there are probably no food sources available because Jericho would not have left food out there for them to be able to gather. Okay, so have that in your mind. In Joshua chapter 5, verses 13 to 15, God reveals his abundant provision. Now it came about when Joshua was by Jericho that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, a man was standing opposite him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went to him and said to him, "Are you for us or for our adversaries?" He said, "No, rather I indeed come now as captain of the host of the Lord." And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and bowed down and said to him, "What has my Lord to say to his servant?" The captain of the Lord's host said to Joshua, "Remove your sandals from your feet, for the place where you are standing is holy." And Joshua did so. God's plan was to lead the battle. God's captain, with his sword drawn, was ready to lead Joshua and his people to victory. Can you imagine how relieved Joshua must have felt at that moment? Seize the moment and wait upon God. His plans are for your good and his glory. Seize the moment.